congrats on this book, sir.
Thank you.
Centerstage. What are you most proud of about this, Michael? The names on the book cover are remarkable, to say the least.
Yeah, I mean, the A-list guests that we've had, and, you doing a show, it's not an easy thing to do, especially when you get a person that has to commit in person to be there for over an hour. It's like an hour and a half commitment. And, we started out 20 years ago. Our first guest was Steve Young, and I couldn't think of a better guest to start with. He was the best, and he's in the book. And just the amount of guests that we've had and the things that we've uncovered. And I just found this out, Rich.
Yes, sir.
2 weeks ago, so it's not even in the book. We had Mike Tyson on. And Tyson on stage was alternately crying and laughing uproariously, flipping between happy and sad. There were times I was sitting there thinking he was going to hit me. The audience was sitting on the edge of their seats. I left that interview and go, wow, that was raw. That was just visceral. And then I found out 2 weeks ago that show aired on Yes. And a gentleman by the name of Spike Lee was watching. Mm-hmm. The show ended, and he called up Tyson immediately and said, that's a show, one-man show on Broadway I want to produce. And that's actually where Tyson on Broadway began.
No kidding.
Wow. Yeah, I didn't know that until 2 weeks ago.
Did you leave, so thus you didn't get a piece, let alone a house seat for that?
You know what? I'm glad you asked because we think alike. I know Spike, and I like Spike.
Yeah.
I was on that stage too, Spike. How about a little something for the effort?
Well, I mean, how about a one-man? What would the one-man Michael K play be called? Michael? What would that be called?
Run-on sentence.
No, it would be called I Don't Eat Ketchup. It could be that.
I got it. K doesn't always mean strikeout.
See, ladies and gentlemen, Michael K. Round of applause right there. I like it. So, yeah, we had Tyson here, what was that, about 5-6 years ago, I think, and that was back in a day where the radio clock that I had, which is, I'm sure I know I'm talking your language there as well, we'd have to take a break in the middle of the hour. Ooh. And Tyson came on 20 minutes into the hour, and I had to take a break at some point during the interview. And the question is when do you do it, when do you not? And I asked him a question about, what would you tell the old Mike Tyson back in the day that, that he wouldn't know right now? And he goes, well, the old Mike Tyson wouldn't listen to me. And I said, why? And he said, because, that he definitely didn't listen to people back then. And I asked him how many rounds could he give me right now. He goes, I don't want to even think about it. He goes, why? Because he said I might hurt somebody. That's when I took the break.
That's a good break.
I'm like, we'll be right back. I mean, and that 60 seconds was like, what do you say to somebody? You know what I mean? Like, I always found that always an awkward moment when there's a guest sitting right there. And I imagine shooting something over an hour and a half, you had moments like that all the time with some of your guests.
Yeah, I mean, we'd have to break with Tyson, and after he's crying, and what do you say to him? Oh, by the way, beautiful weather, huh?
How'd you like a Broadway play? That could be something.
I've always been. I'm sure that you're like this as well. Like when Letterman would go to break and lean in, and I want to know what he leaned in and said.
Yes.
That's the stuff I'm curious about.
Yes. The one time I was on Letterman, he leans into me as the commercial break, and he goes, thanks.
That was it.
That was it. So people at home what's he saying to Rich? So what's he saying to Thanks. Also, some of the names here are some of the all-time great Yankees, like Berra, and what were those, like, what do you have memories of those moments, Mike?
The Berra moment to me that I take out of it, and I explain this in the book, is just when you're around somebody for a long time, and an hour is a long time, you realize why they are who they are. And I think that's the crux of the book as well. But with Yogi, he was so nice to everybody. Mm. I mean, he made everybody feel like they were the most important person in the world. So we have a comic that comes out and warms up the audience before the show. His name's Pete Dominic, and he brought his father, a World War II veteran who loved Yogi. So I brought the dad into the dressing room before the show, and Yogi made him feel like the most important person in the world. And Pete told me that's one of my dad's biggest moments in life. And I just think that's what Yogi Berra is about, just a sweet, gentle man who never let his celebrity get the best of him. And I've seen the celebrity get the best of a lot of people, but not Yogi Berra.
Who would you want that you didn't get?
We're still working.
I know that.
Springsteen, Billy Joel, Jerry Seinfeld, and Michael Jordan. Seinfeld, I don't understand why we don't have him, because we've had Larry David on, and Larry and I have gotten to have a really great relationship. He'll text me during Yankee games screaming about a move that Aaron Boone made.
Right.
And so he obviously had a good experience on the show, but I don't know if Jerry has an aversion because of the Yankee connection with Yes. He's such a big Met fan. We have not been able to get him on.
Is that right?
Yeah.
I mean, it could be that. It could be a Met Yankee thing, which you have to respect too, right?
Well, you know what? Then I've got to call in Gary Cohen from the bullpen and have him host that show.
I mean, you wouldn't want to do that, Michael. Let's be honest here. Let's put every card on the table.
Peel the show out of my death grip.
Hey, you watched all the way to the end. Thanks for that. Watch more right here.